Hi children, hope you all are doing good. Welcome to the UI class. So already we have unpacked the theme, that was how we express ourselves, and you have also unpacked the central idea, that was throughout history people interacted with each other and communicated using arts. So we are very clear that in olden days, even when the language was not there, people used to interact means, I have already told you, that is talking to each other. So people have been talking to each other and sharing their ideas using different forms of art. Okay, so now my question is, when I'm asking you, can you tell me some art forms, what will be your answer? Obviously you will say dance, music, then art and craft. You say painting, coloring, everything is an art. Of course it is an art, but what I'm going to tell you today is, we are going to learn about the different forms of art as it is, because whatever art forms that we tell to other people, it is not like the segregated, it is not sorted properly. Okay, so all these art forms, if you say dance falls under a category, then painting falls under a category, and statue making falls under a category, photography, it comes under different categories. So all the art that we perform comes under different forms of art, it is segregated in different ways. Okay, so today we are going to learn that, and I have made the video in such a way that all the art forms I have not taken in utter stretch, because it will be confusing for you. So today I am going to just say one form of art, tomorrow we'll see the other one, and the day after tomorrow we'll be seeing another one. So I also want to tell you that art is nothing but what, when you express your emotions using a medium, like for example dance is an art. So you use the help, or you take the help of the dance to convey what you think in your mind, isn't it? You convey your message, your ideas, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions through various expressions and various body postures using that dance, isn't it? So this is a medium. So art is nothing but it is just a medium means we use art as a form where we want to tell people something. Because if I want to tell you something, every time I cannot come and tell you, isn't it? If I want a strong message to pass to you, for example, you will remember last year we were we have celebrated the wildlife week, and we have been performing many dances, music, everything. Nobody came and told that, they didn't give a big speech where they are telling save animals. You just you did various form of dance, music, and also that people can get a strong message from that. So every time, this language, only the language is not going to help us to convey the message that we want. Art will help us in making people understand what you want to tell to other people, isn't it? Even a simple emotion that you have inside, it need not be told in a way of using a language. You can use different art forms, isn't it? So today we are going to talk about that. And one more thing is, there are different forms of art that is new, and some form of art, you can say it was used in the olden days, but now they are not using it. So we are going to learn about those art, and what we are going to do is, we are going to develop it again. We can try bringing it up again, isn't it? Because art is such a beautiful thing, and we need not want it to get extinct, isn't it? So today we'll see, I'm going to show you a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so one by one we'll learn it slowly. Okay, there is no need of hurrying up here. We are going to learn the different forms of art very slowly. So I hope you will definitely enjoy. Already you have been enjoying, you have given me such good feedbacks. So let us go to the PowerPoint presentation and see what are the different forms of art. Forms of art, I had a question for you, isn't it? So what are the different forms of art that you know or you have heard about? So when such question is asked to you, or me, even me, before learning about this, even before that, I used to say dance, music, painting, drawing, photography, that's all. I knew only that much, even I didn't know that there were different forms of art like this. Now when we are talking about forms of art, what are they actually? Let us see one by one. So as you can see in the picture right side, there are three divisions here, isn't it? Types of art. There is a thing written down, types of art, and you can see various names given: visual, performing, applied.
So yes children, art forms are divided into three types. Okay, so when you say art forms, these are the different types of art forms. When you say dance, music and drawing, they are not the art form, they are different arts actually, that's true, but they fall under these three categories. Okay, so first we will be looking into visual arts, then we learn about performing arts, then we learn about applied arts. So let us see what visual art means. So actually visual art. So when I use the word visual, what does it mean? Visual means see, to see, isn't it? The sight that we see, that we look. So visual art is something which gives a visual treat to us. So visual treat in this sense, it looks really beautiful. So now we are going to see what are the different forms of visual art. Visual art has got different forms in it. It has got many categories, many types of art in it. The first one that falls under visual art is drawing. Definitely drawing is a visual art because it looks beautiful. When you draw something, when you show me something that you have done, definitely it looks beautiful, isn't it? So because you use different colors in it, different methodologies in that, so drawing is a representation of any form or object by hand. So we use hand to draw, isn't it? So representation means to show. Okay, so it shows us or it tells us, when you draw with your hand, that is a medium. So what do you use when you draw? You can use pencil, you can use pen, charcoal, that is the coal, the black color thing that we use in the olden days. So all these things are used as a medium of drawing. Medium in the sense, what is the thing that we use to do something. Okay, now drawings need not be necessarily a depiction of what we see around us. For example, if I want to draw, it is not compulsory or it is not necessary that I should draw whatever I see in front of me, isn't it? I can imagine and also draw. There are many kinds that I've already told you what is creativity, isn't it? Creativity is nothing but imagination. So when you draw something, it is not necessary that you have to draw what is around you or draw what is there, whatever you can see, whatever you have seen already. That is not a necessary thing. You can draw whatever you want. So it should be neatly presented, it can be colorful, it's up to you whether you can shade it with a pencil, whether you shade it with a sketch or you give paint to it. Everything is your choice. So when you draw, it need not be what is real, it can be imaginative also. Then a drawing can also be abstract. Abstract means something imaginary. As I've told you, it need not be a real thing. Okay, so that can be an abstract thing illustrating certain emotions. So when you draw something like when you're drawing some facial expression of someone, when you're drawing a boy or a girl with a expression on the face, that is an illustrating something. That tells a illustration means just telling what it means. Okay, so it can be showing an emotion, an idea, whatever it is, and it will be in the mind of the artist. When you're drawing something, definitely you draw what is in your mind. Okay, so that is what the sentence is telling us. So a drawing can also be abstract, that means which is not real, or it can bring some emotions or ideas which is in the mind of an artist. Okay, and it is open to interpretation. Now for example, if you're drawing something and showing it to me, I need not have the same opinion as you. When you were drawing, for example, you would have drawn a picture. For example, if you have drawn a picture of an apple where a boy is standing and eating an apple with some facial expression, so you would have thought that and you would have drawn that picture. But when I look into it, I may feel something else. I may feel like that boy doesn't like that apple, so I will come up with different different points when I look into a drawing. So my opinion and your opinion will definitely be not the same when you look at some picture, because it is different. Because art talks, isn't it? For our art is a thing that talks to everybody, isn't it? Even if it is a drawing, I'm not telling it has a mouth and it will come and tell you. It's not like that. But when you look at a picture, when you have when you have drawn something, definitely it will speak to you, isn't it? It has a message inside that. So everybody will have different meaning in that. Everybody will find different meaning from a drawing. Okay, everybody will not have the same meaning when you look at the same drawing. It will be different, as I said you when we were unpacking the central idea. There are many drawing and sketching techniques, sketching ways, and what an artist uses depends upon his skills and preferences. Now your technique of drawing will be different, mine drawing will be very different, because I am very bad at drawing. Okay, I've never tried one because I'm afraid of that. Whenever I draw, something goes bad. So I'm not telling about me. Now, like when you people draw something, what happens is some of you never color your drawing, isn't it? That is your preference, that is your choice. You shade it with a pencil. That is the technique that you use. Different people use different things when they draw, isn't it? So the first form of visual art is drawing. Okay, because visual art, why does drawing come under visual art? Because we look into it, isn't it? It is a thing that we have to look, and then we it gives a visual treat to us. Okay. Next thing is painting. Okay, so the drawing thing is different and painting is different. Drawing, just it can be done with a pencil or a charcoal or a pen. That is it. You need not color it also. It is a drawing. Even though when you are not coloring it, it is a drawing. But painting is different because you use different colors inside that, isn't it? So paintings are classified according to the style in which they are made, as well as the genre and main object of the painting. Genre in the sense there are different forms of painting itself. When you take the art forms, no, it has got different styles. For example, if we are talking about dance, do you think that dance is there only one dance? No, we have got different dance forms. The same way paintings are also of different forms. Okay, so what are the different forms of painting? Still life, which means it talks about, flowers, animals, dead animals. So the people who draw the still life painting, they draw about the natural things around us. Okay, landscape, which is always like it is a painting that has got the land in it. Okay, some kind of forest in it, all those. Then it can also have mountain in that. Then seascape always is depending upon the seashore or ocean when you paint like that. Abstract, again, it is colorful, which is not real at all. Pop art is an art form. As I have told you in the beginning of the video, pop art is an art that has got extinct. It means they are not being used now. So pop art is again a colorful art. It is taken from some advertisement, some magazines. These are the different kinds of art. So it is there in the next slide. I have put some pictures from that. So these are the different types of painting genres. Genres means, like in writing we have different genres. Already you have learned descriptive writing, that was a genre. Creative writing is again a genre. The same way painting also has different forms. Like when you talk about music, you say melodious music, then fast beat music, pop music, rock music, everything is there. The same way painting also has got its own different types. Okay, so these are the different types. Still life is there, landscape is there, seascape, abstract, and pop art, and more of many are there. Okay, so moreover, the kind of medium used for painting, like oil colors, definitely you all use that, isn't it? Oil colors you use, pastels you use, watercolors, charcoal, again that black thing, and the surface that is painted on, whether it is a canvas. So canvas is a thing that is a artists use that canvas to draw. You can see it in the image where she is standing. At the back side you can see a flower vase there. So that is a canvas. Okay, so you can use a piece of paper also to draw. How, like when you draw something, whether the paper can hold the paint. When you draw, sometimes it goes off, the paint just starts to flow, because when you use watercolor you should be very careful with it, isn't it? So it is up to you in which medium you want to draw, whether it is a piece of paper or a canvas. Okay, so the second form of visual art is painting. Okay, now these are the different forms of paintings I was talking about. So still life is nothing but when you draw some flowers with a vase in it, that is still life painting, which is somewhat real. And landscape is when you draw the forest, mountain, all these things. And the third one is seascape. It is about the sea and ocean. And abstract painting, it is colorful painting. When you look at it, you won't understand what it is, but definitely it will have, like I if I see to that picture, I can see a door there. It's for me when I look at it, I can see a door, something else I can see, a wall I can see. When you look at it, it will be different for you. So that's what I said, different people will have different opinions when we speak about some art forms. Okay, when you look at some art forms, so abstract art forms doesn't need to be very real, it can be imaginary, like this. Next is pop art. So as I told you, pop art is an art form that used many different dark colors in it. It's like popping. You can see it feels like it is popping out. Like if you compare with the other paintings here, this abstract and pop art stands out because it is very colorful. You can see in other paintings they have used little light colors, but in pop art and abstract they use the dark and various fluorescent colors in it. Okay, So the next form of art, which is a beautiful form, that is sculpture, that is statue making. So many of you have told me this when I was, brainstorming, asking you the different forms of communication. How will you communicate? So some of you said that sculpture. Definitely, sculpture was an art form, is an art form actually. So it falls under visual art, because when you make something, definitely it's a visual treat to others. So sculptures are also among the different art forms that falls under visual art. They can be defined as a three-dimensional art, because when you draw or paint, it is not three-dimensional. It's just done in a paper. But sculpture is something that you can touch and feel it, isn't it? You can feel that. A statue, isn't it? So the drawing or painting, you cannot feel anything. But when you touch a statue or a sculpture, you can feel that, isn't it? So that's why it is three-dimension art form. And materials used for this is clay, stone, or wood for its execution. So you use stone, you use clay, but better you use clay always, you tell me, right? So sculptures are essentially made in two ways. Either they are formed bit by bit into a particular shape and structure. So they, how they make sculpture is, either they use by step method to form a shape or a structure, as it is in the case of a clay sculpture, or it is chiseled and carved from a block of wood. Chiseled in the sense, for example, just now the Vinayaga Chaturthi has passed on, isn't it? So I don't know whether how many of you saw a man was making the sculpture. Definitely everybody was doing that. He was making use of molds, and he was making the sculpture. And one more good thing he did was, because we people dissolve that Ganesha statue inside the water. What that person did was, because now it is a lockdown, and because of coronavirus, no one is traveling around, so we cannot go and dissolve that in as a crowd. So what he did was, he had put some seeds inside that Ganesha statue, so that he told that when you do the dissolving inside your house itself, you can grow it into a plant. Okay, so that is what. So these Ganesha murti was, or the statue was made out of the mold. So you can take a block, and you can make it as a mold, and take it out and make it as a sculpture. So there are many clay sculpture ideas that an amateur can take inspiration from. That is a new person. If I want to make a sculpture, or you want to make a sculpture, you can take the inspiration from many places, because it is very nice form of art. Okay, uh, you use a clay, you use a wood, or you use any material, that is up to you. That is, a stone can be used, like in our temples, we the statues of all the god, it will be made out of stone, isn't it? So this is how it is made. And some are made with metal. So metal statues are, obviously they are made from the mold, isn't it? So this is how the sculpture is a visual art. And calligraphy. Calligraphy is again another beautiful form of art. This I have already told you about when we were unpacking the central idea. So the art of writing letters in a manner that it looks visually appealing. Like you can see it in the picture, how beautifully it has written, isn't it? It looks like a italic and cursive writing together. It is a visual treat. It looks very beautiful, isn't it? So calligraphy is a form of visual art that has great commercial value and is much sought after. It has got a definite big value for that, isn't it? So for calligraphy, a special calligraphy pen with a flat nib. So calligraphy cannot be done with a normal pen or pencil. It has got a special pen. Okay, and that pen has got a flat nib or brushes dipped in a paint. Okay, you will not have an ink inside that. It will have to be dipped inside the ink. Okay, and or the paint you want to write in. And you need there are many calligraphy styles, and used it takes months of training. You cannot write as it is, because you need training. Like you need training to practice the cursive writing. The same way you need practice to write the calligraphy also. So calligraphy alphabets and the styles used is entirely different. So this is the another form of visual art, that is so the last form of visual art is photography. So why photography is an art, I will tell you. Uh, 2 weeks back we had a competition for Krishna Jayanti and Independence Day. It was photography competition, isn't it? So when you were posting the photographs that were taken by you, did you speak anything in that photograph? Did you come and say to the judges or other teachers or your classmates that what it was telling? No, isn't it? So that is the power of photography. So photography, when you look at it, you will understand what it is telling, what it is when it was taken, like when it was where it was taken, everything you can guess. So and long back I had already given you a work in descriptive writing where I asked you to look at an old photography of your grandparents and to write something that you feel by looking at that photo, because in that photo they would be very young and now they are old, so you get different emotions from that. So photography has got that much that much strength and power in it, that it can tell you the message, it can convey any message that it wants. By looking at the picture itself you can see how that person is feeling, where that picture is taken, everything. So photography is the art of producing an image of an object on a photographic film. So the way the image is captured, the way the photo is taken is different from people to people. Like different photographers, they choose to take different things. Okay, so there are different types of photography. That is fashion photography, where they concentrate only on the film, the heroes, all those people, models and different things around that film industry. So when they take a photo of those people, that is fashion photography. And even fashion photography promotes the different costumes, different kinds of costumes. Obviously we look at a costume, the picture of the costume, and we tell that I want a cloth like that, I want a material like that. So that is the fashion photography. Wildlife photography is when they click the image of an animal, different animals, all those from the forest. You would have seen in National Geographic and everything. So all those comes under this wildlife photography. Food photography, when you Google the different forms of, I mean, different food items in the Google, you can see very beautiful pictures of for food items. When you look at that food item, you will feel like you want to eat it. By looking at the photo itself, you will feel like you want to eat that now itself, because that is the talent of the photographer. He has taken the photo in such a beautiful manner that it tempts us to eat that food, isn't it? And some photographers are there who take only the wedding photography. Okay, so these are the different kinds of photograph. So this is what I wanted to tell you people, like these are the different forms of art. Once again we'll see what is it. These are the different kinds of visual art, as you have seen now. Till now we have been seeing, so drawing, painting, sculpture, calligraphy and photography. So these are the different forms of visual art. So visual art is the first form of art that we have seen today. So please go through this slide so that you are very clear with what a visual art is, so that we are going to be very clear with the next form of art. So till then, take care. Bye.